with us. Check. It is a Lipscomb hosting the Bellarmine Knights. So glad you're with us here on the Lipscomb Athletics YouTube. Boy, do we have a fun one for you tonight in the regular season finale. It's senior night for the Bisons. They're trying to send out their seniors on a high note. We'll see if they can do it against ASUN tournament-bound Bellarmine, trying to get a win on the road against a ranked opponent for the first time in the Division I era in their program history. Hello, everybody. I'm Noah Severson, joined alongside longtime MLS defender Jalil Enibaba. Jalil, when we look at this game, this could very well be a preview of an ASUN semifinal in just 1 week. When you talk about Lipscomb, their seed is set. They will be the #1 seed in next weekend's ASUN tournament, but still a lot to play for as they try to balance getting healthy and resting up for the tournament while still wanting to put their best foot forward and play sharp tonight.
Absolutely. First and foremost, Noah, great to be here with you. Like you said, it's a great night for football. Perfect conditions here, and there's everything to play for both clubs. Lipscomb, they're wanting to show what they have in front of their home crowd, continue to finish this season on a good note, and Bellarmine is looking to continue their great run of 9 games unbeaten.
Underway here in Nashville. Lipscomb in the home white kits, Bellarmine in their road maroons, as it were. And Lipscomb going with a little bit of a different starting lineup tonight, resting a couple of their key players, and we will get into that as the night goes along. But to your point about wanting to play their best going into tournament play, we do see a lot of that depth that head coach Charles Morrow has been so proud of this year, maybe put on display tonight as two names that really jumped off the page. Wylan Worley and Killian Byrne getting their spot in the starting 11 tonight. Byrne playing in just his 4th game of the year and Worley playing in just his 3rd game of the year. They will be counted on heavily tonight. Will Turner there on the far side, kicking it out of play, and so Bellarmine will have the throw in the attacking third. Lipscomb comes in 11-2-2 overall, 6-1 in conference play. Bellarmine 6-3-6 overall, 2-2-3 in ASUN action. And Bellarmine playing really well as of late, Jalil. 9 matches over this unbeaten streak, and they've done it with defense.
Absolutely. They've been extremely organized throughout all of their defensive responsibilities. Their core through the middle of their defense and their 2 defensive midfielders in front of them have been excellent. But this is a tale of 2 forces. This is going to be a tale of attack versus defense. Lipscomb, their offense is just high octane, and you got a defensive squad in Bellarmine, and we're going to see which forces will prevail tonight.
Absolutely. Strength against strength, right? I mean, you've got the 2 top defenses in the ASUN, at least in terms of goals against, and then the top scoring offense, not only in the ASUN, but one of the top offenses in the country here in Lipscomb, who is certainly looking for some revenge after they lost 1-0 to Florida Gulf Coast their last time out. They want to head into the tournament with a win as we get a handball there on Plutarchus Alanefti. Starting on the attack for Coach Morrow tonight. Junior out of Cyprus. Javon Smith gets the start at forward for the Bisons. No Yeldrick Dahlman in the 11 tonight, at least to start off. No Tyree Spicer either. It'll be Javon Smith, who you'll recall last year was the hero in the regular season finale, as Lipscomb hosted Central Arkansas, needing a win to clinch the #1 seed, and it was Javon Smith, the game winner in overtime, to help Lipscomb clinch home field advantage, clinch the regular season title, and of course they use that advantage to win the tournament championship and get to the NCAA tournament. Here's Alanefti down the left wing, looking for an angle to cross, passes it through on the ground, and no teammate was on the receiving end. Bellarmine maybe trying to trigger a counter, but Nick Dang is there to collect it. Will Turner far side for Robinson, as Lipscomb resets just a few minutes into the first half here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Dispossessed as Tegan Dunn forces the turnover. And now Bellarmine will have the throw as well. Tegan Dunn, 1/4 of a pair of brothers on the Bellarmine team this season. Camden and Tegan Dunn, pair of siblings from the St. Louis area, and then Jackson and Bennett Kern as well. Jackson Kern in the starting lineup, wearing number 4 for the Knights. Certainly a key piece in that back line for Coach Chastanet. Here's Camden Dunn, works to his left foot, pushing the attack, gets it to their top assist man, Jack Fisher. His cross is intercepted. And they play it up ahead for Smith. Too strong of a touch. Bellarmine gets it back. And an ambitious ball played up over the top. This will trickle out.
You can already see the energy in this game. It's proving to be one that's going to be a hard-fought match for sure. Both teams, they're already putting everything they have into the match. And it's hard to call who's been better so far. Obviously, Lipscomb has had more of the ball, but Bellarmine's been up to every single challenge up to this point as well.
And wouldn't you say that a big part of taking on the 12th ranked team at their home field, in the regular season finale, as we get a big ball played up ahead, and nicely done by the back line of Lipscomb, has to be just showing that you're not scared, right? You're going to play fearless. You kind of throw out the records, or you hope to when you're a visiting team, because you know that you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the start here from Bellarmine. Like you said, they're showing that they aren't scared. They're showing that they're willing to be contenders in this match.
Sure.
And the energy shows, and that's what happens sometimes when you're considered the underdog. You come in with energy.
Here's Hayeswood into the 18, gets to his right foot, and it's saved by Brozovic. That was set up by Noah Golden, who played it up ahead for Wood. He danced to his right, and just a tough angle to finish, as Brozovic, the senior out of St. Louis, makes his first save, and Lipscomb will have a corner.
And that's how quickly Lipscomb can create chances. Just a simple clipped ball into the channel there, and Hayeswood uses his ability to get inside the defender, and hard shot low toward the near post results into a corner kick. That's Lipscomb soccer right there, and it's great football in the first couple minutes.
Golden with the corner, played towards the back post, running in, and the header just a touch wide, as that was played towards the post by Will Turner.
And speaking to Coach Morrow yesterday after training, he said one of the ways that they're going to look to break down Bellarmine is obviously through the wide channels. Hopefully they can get possession wide, get down to the end line, cut balls back. But set pieces was one of the things that they're very, very keyed in on, and trying to create chances off set pieces. We see dangerous opportunity there, and look for more of that tonight.
And I think that is such a weapon, set pieces, because you've got a guy like Noah Golden who can seemingly put the ball on a dime wherever he wants to on the field. Just excellent services, and we saw it there with that corner, getting it to Turner.
Absolutely.
Bellarmine with possession. Fisher trying to fight through Golden, and the Knights will get the throw.
This is a player for me to keep an eye on throughout the match for Bellarmine. Fisher, Jack Fisher. For me, I really like his ability to, maintain possession. He fights on defense, obviously, but he's good going forward. You said top assist man for Bellarmine, and I like his confidence on the ball and in defense as well.
4 assists on the year. Here's a swing and a miss, and Bellarmine gets an opportunity. The flag will stay down, and we'll have a corner kick for the Knights. I believe that was Nick Dang who kind of swung over top of the ball. It trickled by him, and that gave Raheem Shalish an opportunity there to play it off of Bison and win the corner.
Yeah, Shalish was able to get in behind Nick Dang there just for a second, but Nick Dang was able to do well to recover and put in an effort to keep the ball, out of the danger area.
8 minutes into the first half. Ball played in towards the back. Brock Pope rising up to try to meet it, but the Lipscomb defense stands tall, and now they want to trigger a quick counter. Joey Gladys has other ideas for Bellarmine.
Very good defending there by Joey Gladys. If he doesn't make that tackle there, Alan FD is in, and that's a very dangerous opportunity cut out. Very well done by Gladys.
And if you're just joining us, some pieces that have not maybe seen this kind of playing time early in a game, they're used to coming off the bench, getting starting roles tonight. And we'll see how that impacts these 12th ranked Bisons. Errant pass gets out. Bellarmine wins it back. Bellarmine, 5 straight draws coming into tonight. 3 of those scoreless draws. Noted that really stout defense for them, riding that 9-match unbeaten streak. It started with 4 wins, and they come into tonight with 5 straight draws. They've only allowed 2 goals over their last 9 matches.
An absolutely, solid defensive team in Bellarmine. It's very, very solid. But again, Lipscomb able to get down the side and create opportunities and get in danger zones, and that's something that Bellarmine is going to need to do well, defending in the channels and protecting the top of the 18. That's going to be very, very crucial for Bellarmine tonight.
Here's a run for Alan Efty. Gets it back to his right foot, has space, flicks it in for Wood. Bounce back, Javon Smith gets tackled, and we will get the whistle. And it is going against Bellarmine. And a big chance for Lipscomb upcoming. That was all started by Alan Efty, who got it to his right foot and just chipped it in. Hayes Wood couldn't put it on target, but on the redirect, it was Smith who got jostled down, and so Lipscomb will have an excellent chance. Louis Robinson to take the penalty.
And that's exactly what we were speaking about. Alan Efty drifting off to the left-hand side, getting in the channel, creating problems, clipping in a great ball in there to Hayes Wood on the back post, penalty drawn.
Robinson, the native of Nottingham, United Kingdom. Played in so many games here in a Bison's jersey, was recognized pregame during senior night festivities. Looking for his first goal of the season. Could it come on senior night? Brozovic between the pipes. And it's saved! Brozovic comes through in the clutch with a massive save. Lunge to his left, and Robinson couldn't sneak it past him, and we remain scoreless here, 10 minutes in.
And speaking to Coach Chassenet before the game, one of the things that he spoke about was how well they've been, or how good their goalkeeping has been. Brozovic, he comes up absolutely huge there, keeps the game level. Most times when you draw a penalty, your confidence level it sinks, and that permeates throughout the whole team because you assume that the ball's going to hit the back of the net. Obviously, that now is going to turn the momentum in the favor of Bellarmine. So hopefully Lipscomb can bounce back from that, but that is something that is a definite game changer.
A huge jolt, no doubt, for the visitors. Ball played up, intended for Alan Efty, and headed out of play by Tegan Dunn. Alan Efty trying to flick it through for Worley. And this will allow the Knights to reset. 2 saves already for Brozovic. Telling Lipscomb to back up on this throw-in. Wyland Worley, the redshirt junior out of Walnut, California, playing in just his 4th game of the season, and he gets the start here on senior night. Noted that both of these teams will be participating in the ASUN tournament. Of course, the top 6 teams make it. Lipscomb has already clinched the number 1 seed and the regular season championship. Central Arkansas will be the 2 seed. Seeds 3 through 6, we will know by the end of the night. Bellarmine can finish as high as 4th. This ball is rocketed over the top of the crowd by Dunn.
Yeah, Tegan Dunn getting real stuck in there. I like that. I like that. That's another example of Bellarmine, being ready and ready for the challenge. They're here to prove what they got, and it's been a good showing for both sides, but I like when players get stuck in like that to send a message.
Joey Gladys and Louis Robinson going at it on the far side. Lipscomb wins the throw. Bison's checking in at number 12 in the latest United Soccer Coaches National Poll. Looking for win number 12 on the season. That would match their most in a season in program history. Tying last year's squad and the 2014 team.
Yeah, you can't say enough about how great of a year Lipscomb's been having. You know, all year they've been great. They started the season hot from exhibition matches early in the season, and they've kept a solid run of form throughout the entire year. Yes, they're coming off a loss against Florida Gulf Coast, but they'll be looking to make that right. And you know, this game is locked at the moment, and it's for me going to be a race to the first goal.
You mentioned earlier, we were kind of talking off air, to some people who may just be checking in, that loss to Florida Gulf Coast may be pretty shocking, but you and I were talking, that's a tough place to play. It's a long ways away, and Florida Gulf Coast is a really good team. They are going to be a top 4 seed in the ASUN tournament, so that's not necessarily a super disappointing loss.
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast is a good side, like you said, tough opponent in them for Lipscomb. You know, and yeah, it's a long ways away, long travel. You may have had heavy legs, this, that, and the third, but I feel like this is going to be a statement game for Lipscomb, so they can right that wrong, if you will, and carry some really good form going into the conference tournament.
They were shut out in that match for just the second time this season, the first time coming against Belmont on the road earlier this year. They're averaging 2.5 goals per match. Just an explosive offense, headlined, of course, by Yeldrick Dahlman, who is, I would say, maybe the odds-on favorite at this point in the season to be the ASUN Player of the Year. Speaks volumes about the culture that this team has, that you can drop in a guy like that to this system and he just explodes into one of the top goal-scoring threats in the country. We knew what he could do maybe at the level that Niagara plays at, but I mean, he's come in and he's been a certified weapon here at Lipscomb. Here's a dangerous cross played in. Louis Robinson on the rebound and simply cleared away by Bellarmine. They have to be breathing a sigh of relief that didn't turn into something more.
Yeah, no, you're speaking about how excellent of a year Yeldrick has had. And yeah, you can't speak enough about how great of an addition he's been for this club. Obviously, the amount of goals that he scored, but anytime you have a threat like that, it just keeps teams on their toes. That's something that they have to do extra scouting on. They have to create their defensive schemes to try to prevent a player from him, you know, to put goals in the back of the net. But what I've liked from Bellarmine so much in this game so far is that Yeldrick isn't on the field, and they're still creating chances. They're still very, very dangerous, and that's what you want to see from a club at their level, is how deep are they, how many weapons do they have, and they're showing that they have a lot.
Golden plays it up ahead for a teammate. It's bouncing around in the box. Javon Smith trying to get loose. Here's the shot. It's in. Lipscomb leads. Alan Efty puts Lipscomb ahead 1-0. 15 minutes in.
And that's just great awareness. That's absolutely great awareness from Alan Efty to stick with the play. Javon almost put it in, then it was bouncing around, and it bounced right to Alan Efty. He's opportunistic. He puts the ball in the back of the net. And we were just speaking about how many weapons Lipscomb has. Their high-octane offense is not just one-dimensional in terms of the players that can put goals in the back of the net and create opportunities, and that's case in point right there. Great goal from Alan Efty and a great start from Lipscomb.
His third goal of the season. Javon Smith, right before kickoff there, was talking to Platarkis, and we can only assume, hey, I gave that one to you, because Javon kind of played it off the defender. That allowed the ball to get clear, and Alan Efty had too much space. Bellarmine there just the victim of some chaos in the box. And you've been in these situations as a defender, Jaleel, when the ball's just bouncing around. I mean, how helpless of a feeling is that as a defender?
Yeah, it's a very nerve-wracking situation, of course. And that all comes tactically from Lipscomb's ability to get down the end line, to be able to isolate Lipscomb's to be able to isolate Bellarmine's outside backs 1v1 and play dangerous balls into the 18-yard box. So it's a very unnerving situation to constantly be in.
Robinson finds Golden. See if Lipscomb wants to switch fields here. Get it to Worley. Hayeswood. Back for Dang. He steps forward. Pass knocked away by Brock Pope. Little give and go action. Here's Fisher. Gets position on Wood. Crosses it over for Pope. Takes the touch. Shoots, and it's too steep. Will Turner in pursuit. Brock Pope puts the hands to his head as Bellarmine tried to equalize there. That was a pretty quick counter.
Absolutely, and you have to take note of Jack Fisher's service. That is an excellent ball that he played over the top to Brock Pope. That ball is perfectly measured. Brock Pope was able to take it down. His touch let him down a little bit, took him a little bit far wide, and his angle wasn't ideal, but that is very, very good wide play there from Jack Fisher.
4 assists on the year for Fisher, the junior out of Prospect, Kentucky. Perhaps generously listed at 5'7", but he is quick, and you mentioned the service. He's got excellent touch. 1-0 Lipscomb on the goal 15 minutes in from Plutarchus Alanefti. Third goal of the season for the native of Cyprus.
Counterattack situations are where Lipscomb needs to be a little bit sharper for me, a little bit cleaner. Their passes into the midfield have been careless on 2 occasions here, and that plays into the strong suits of Bellarmine. They're very, very organized defensively, and they look to get out on the counter, so Lipscomb needs to be a little bit sharper with the ball. Case in point here.
Yeah, tough collision there between a Bison and a Knight. And a yellow has been issued to Burl Shepard, who had taken a touch that was a bit strong, and then he tried to slide in and caught a lot of the Bellarmine player. Was that, I believe that was Joey Gladys who was on the receiving end of that slide.
Yeah, Gladys kind of did the classic hop and skip out of that challenge there from Bro Shepard. Nothing in it. Bro Shepard just took a long touch and tried to get to the ball there. But like I said, I think Lipscomb needs to clean up their play just a little bit more and prevent Bellarmine from getting out on the counter, because that's what they like to do.
Uncharacteristically long touch from Wood. Tegan Dunn looks for McGrath. Haven't called his name out a lot today. 5 goals on the season. Nolan McGrath, the only Knight with multiple goals on the season for Bellarmine, and then you've got 9 guys who have 1 goal apiece, and that speaks kind of to the balance of this Bellarmine team. But they do rely on McGrath quite a bit, and of course him in tandem with Fisher is quite the combo. Right on cue, McGrath is going to exit as a substitution will come off to replace him. Coach Chastanet, his 25th season at the helm, going to his bench. "25 minutes and change before halftime, and what could very well be a 2-0 lead for Lipscomb. Louis Robinson had a penalty attempt saved by Matthew Brozovic. And then just a little bit later, Plutarchus Alanefti buries a ball that was clanging around in the box for the Lipscomb lead.
Yeah, and like we spoke about just directly after the penalty kick, sometimes those can be momentum shifts. When they don't see the back of the net, it can shift in the other way. But credit to Lipscomb. After the unfortunate miss by Louis Robinson, they were able to stay on the front foot, continue to attack. It didn't seem to faze them at all, and that speaks to their mental toughness as a group.
Corner on the far side for Bellarmine. Low line drive. Louis Robinson up there. Knights recollect. Ball played back in, bouncing around. Cleared for the moment by Lipscomb. Knights step back in. Play it to the top of the 18. And Javon Smith emerges from it all with possession for the Bisons. Five shots tonight for Lipscomb. 2 shots for Bellarmine up to this point. Big ball played up ahead for Robinson on a rope.
That's an excellent switch there from Dang.
Cross, and Smith nearly got a toe on it, but Brozovic scoops it. I mean, how did that ball not only get to Robinson, but then stop with enough pace that Robinson actually was able to control it and then play it into the box?
Yeah, it's a perfectly measured ball from Nick Dang over 60, 70 yards there into the stride of Robinson, and it jump-started a very good attack, or a very good opportunity there.
Physical play here on the near side as Hayes Wood collides with Jack Fisher. And we'll have a Bellarmine throw. The goal given up by Bellarmine, just their 3rd in their last 10 matches. Came into tonight tied with Lipscomb for the most shutouts in the ASUN. Each squad with 7 shutouts so far this season. One of the trademarks of this Lipscomb squad is that they seem to play the same style, play with the same effort regardless of the score.
Yes.
I mean, they score first 15 minutes in, and I can pretty much guarantee you the rest of this match we will not really see any distinct difference in terms of their tempo, in terms of them trying to create chances.
Absolutely.
Here's Hayes Wood. Small pass played in, intended for Smith. Fisher trying to spring the counter. And it's out of the reach of his teammate, Raheem Shalish. The Knights will get the throw.
And speaking on, Lipscomb's ability to play at the same level, have a very high level of consistency that they play at each and every game and throughout, the phases of each and every game. That's very, very important. And that was what we were speaking about just a few minutes ago in terms of just after the penalty that they weren't able to convert, they continue to play at that same level.
Shepard plays it out to Wood. Wood on the attack on his front foot, gets it to his left foot. Tried to sprinkle it in to Killian Byrne, but Bellarmine snuffs that chance out. Worley to Wood and back to Worley. Maybe some jersey tugging going on. Bellarmine gets the throw. Already been such a successful season for Bellarmine. They were picked 8th out of 9 teams in the preseason ASUN poll, and they are, of course, guaranteed a top 6 spot and a chance at an ASUN tournament crown. They won a game in the ASUN tournament last year, taking down Florida Gulf Coast in the quarterfinals before falling in the semis. You and I, Jaleel, were talking before the game. This could very well be another matchup in the semifinal, depending on Bellarmine's seed. If they are a 4 or a 5, they will come back here next Thursday to play at Lipscomb Soccer Complex with the winner of that game playing Lipscomb in the semis.
Yeah, and that it's in soccer, football, whatever you call it where you're from, this sport that we love so much, it's always difficult to beat the same team within quick succession. So whoever becomes the victor tonight, it's going to be difficult for them to repeat that again if they end up matching up in the conference tournament. So I like how competitive this match has been so far, and like you said, they could find themselves playing each other over the weekend or early next week.
Juicy free kick here for Bellarmine after the foul in the attacking third. Jack Fisher and Cooper Forcellini lined up over it. It's Fisher with the service. Rising up to head it away was Golden. Nifty pass played up for Forcellini. He is surrounded by white jerseys, somehow escapes all 3 of them.
That's very, very good feet there by Forcellini.
Cedarberg out to the right wing for Pope. Left foot service, maybe scuffed a little bit. And Alan Efty creates position for himself. Trying to get around Fisher, but Fisher quickly recovers. Ball played up over the head of Turner, as that was intended for Ben Griffiths, who came on in place of Nolan McGrath. Griffiths playing at the point of the spear, essentially. Redshirt freshman out of Monroe, Ohio. Just under 19 minutes to go here in this first half. Lipscomb with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of the goal in the 16th minute from Plutarchus Alanefdi. Javon Smith wins possession for the Bisons. Was going so fast that he nearly came out of his shoes as Bellarmine rises up to meet his attack. Jackson Kern goes to one leg as Hayes Wood goes flying.
Yeah, Jackson Kern, his touch got a little bit away from him there, you know, and then Hayes Wood, he was challenging for it. Kern did pretty well to make sure that Hayes Wood wasn't able to turn that into a counterattack, but you'd want to see him clean it up there a little bit.
Hayes Wood with possession now. Beautiful pass up for Alanefdi, who gets it to Smith. Turns towards the middle. Noah Golden now will switch field. Hayes Wood has been one of the hottest players in the ASUN as of late. 3 goals in his last 6 matches. He's now up to 7 goals on the season. You're talking about a veteran who has played in big games. She has delivered in big moments. And just yet another weapon that Coach Morrow has at his disposal in the attack. When you've got Dahlman, Spicer, Smith, Wood, and I know I'm missing other guys. There's just whoever you throw out there, you know has a chance to score.
Absolutely. And Hayes Wood was one of the players that Coach Morrow raved about. Just his ability to work tenaciously both ways.
High arcing corner. Turner was in the vicinity. Brozovic jumps up as Javon Smith kind of collided with him. Hayes Wood with 20 career goals, one of which came last season against Bellarmine, a game winner in overtime in the 99th minute to give Lipscomb a 2-1 edge in the all-time series between these two squads.
Yeah, just an absolute problem for outside backs to deal with because he's very, very relentless, honest, is always working. So even when you know, outside backs have the ball at their feet, they feel like they're under control. He's somebody that's going to unnerve you because his pressure is very good, his positioning is very good, and then when he has the ball on the flip side, he's very direct. He goes at you. He's looking to set up his teammates. So when you're playing against a player like a Hayes Wood, you have to be on alert at all times.
16 minutes to go in the first half.
That's good feed and very good hold-up play by Smith there. So take that ball out of the air, bring it down with comfortability and balancing, maintain possession. That's very good for Javon Smith there.
Been so impressed with Smith this year. He was a little bit of a bigger part of the attacking rotation last season for a very good Lipscomb team, one of the best in program history. And, of course, Coach Morrow brings in Dahlman. He kind of shakes up the attacking rotation. Smith has not gotten as much playing time, but he still brings the same effort each and every time he goes out there. Dangerous cross played in as Killian Byrne tried to connect. Now Bellarmine back the other way as this ball is played up ahead for Griffiths.
Yeah, just a second ago there you were talking about Javon Smith's kind of change in role within the team from last year to this year. In the way that you described how he's handled it so professionally. That's a coach's dream right there. And that is what builds culture within a team and winning culture. And things like that when a coach can rely on a player who obviously would want probably more playing time or want the ability to score more goals to play his role and help the team and still come in and score goals and you know, be a very big part of what's going on the pitch when he does play. You can't ask for more in a player in that situation.
Hayes Wood going against two Knight defenders, still gets a cross off, but nobody on the receiving end. And a tough collision, Robinson and a Knight banging bodies there near the corner flag. That was Robinson and Gladys, perhaps? Tough to tell there on the far side. It's kind of dark in that corner, and then the maroon jerseys of Bellarmine. That does make it easier. Under 14 minutes to go before halftime. Lipscomb has created the bulk of the chances up to this point. We saw some uncharacteristically errant passes in the early going as Bison side tried to get some rhythm going, and then once they found it, they have really been in the driver's seat throughout this first half.
Yeah, they really have. As the game has calmed down, like you said, Lipscomb has taken over in possession, and that is something that we kind of predicted would happen throughout the match. But
Golden to Smith, flicked off the top of his shoe, and Bellarmine content to clear it out.
yeah, we predicted that Lipscomb would have the majority of the possession. I kind of thought that Bellarmine would sit back a little bit more, and I liked the fact that they actually didn't. They surprised me in that aspect of the match. They came out and, you know, they didn't just sit in their banks and try to absorb pressure, and that's good to see, because like we were speaking about earlier in the game, they've obviously shown that they aren't scared, and they want to get on the scoring sheet as well.
And it seems, Jaleel, like maybe the most of their chances here in the first half have come from trying to spring the counter, right? They're not trying to maybe play the possession game as much as Lipscomb is. They're looking for the deep ball and hope something good happens.
Yeah, that's what we've seen on display from Bellarmine so far. You know, they're kind of relying on their defensive organization, their press to create opportunities, and that's their nature. That's kind of their DNA, if you will. But with a team like Lipscomb, you're kind of forced to do that anyway.
That high press on full display here, as Sibley just had to boot it towards the midfield. Kern up ahead. Stickley into the ball game for Bellarmine, patrolling the midfield. Sibley comes to the top of the 18 to claim it. Regular season finale for both of these squads. Bellarmine knows that they will be playing on Thursday, either here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex or in Conway, Arkansas, for the quarterfinals of the ASUN tournament. Lipscomb, by virtue of the #1 overall seed, has clinched home field advantage. They get a bye to the semifinals. They'll play the winner of the 4-5 game in the quarterfinals. And then, if they were to win that semi, they would get home field advantage for the championship, which obviously came in handy last year when they took down Central Arkansas on this very field, advancing to the NCAA tournament for the third time. Lost a heartbreaker to Hofstra. They're up 2-1 at halftime. Gave up 3 goals in the second half and fell. This ball played up ahead, and certainly that, I think that result played a big part in why so many guys wanted to come back, right? They wanted a second chance to play on the big stage in the NCAA tournament, potentially maybe even host a game here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. They came in, of course, ranked 12th in the country. In the latest NCAA midseason report, they were the number 10 overall seed. That, of course, was before the tight loss to Florida Gulf Coast. So we'll see where they end up, but certainly a team that looks to be poised for a deep postseason run. Here's Bellarmine in the attacking third after creating the turnover. Ball played into Stickley, and a Lipscomb defender stepped in front.
And again, that's how Bellarmine is going to create their most dangerous opportunities, by picking up sloppy, errant passes from Lipscomb in dangerous areas and creating counterattack situations. That's something that again, we've spoken about it. Lipscomb needs to be very cognizant of that. When they are playing in their half, they need to be very, very selective in their passing and safe and secure.
Turner and Dang manning the center back positions tonight for the Bisons. Pope has his pass intercepted by Turner. Finds a teammate. Into Noah Golden. He slides. Out for Byrne. Robinson now. Looking for an avenue. Shifting gears in front of him. And they'll reset. Shifting near side for Worley. Dang for Turner. 8.5 minutes to go in this opening 45. Now they streak forward. Right foot flick pass. Taken away by Bellarmine. Bisons with 8 shots in this first half to Bellarmine's 2. As Worley is taken out. That is a tough challenge from Thomas Stickley.
Oh yeah, that's a tough challenge by Stickley.
I believe he's going to pull out the card. He will. Yellow card issued to Thomas Stickley, the graduate out of Goshen, New York, transfer from Fairfield University. So 1 yellow for each team tonight. Burl Shepard had the first one for Lipscomb, and now Stickley gets carded here for Bellarmine.
It's good to see Worley pop right up right after that challenge. It's heavy touch by him, kind of put him in that danger zone. But Stickley was the one that decided to go in for the tackle. Got it wrong, and like I said, happy to see Worley pop back up, and he seems to be physically okay.
Worley is on the ball, but I believe it's going to be Noah Golden to take this one. I could be mistaken, though. It will be Golden, one of the best delivery men in the country, and another fine service. Killian Byrne will recollect it on the edge. Back for Robinson, who finds Shepard. Back to Robinson. Left foot screamer to Golden. He gets it to Worley. Lots of space on this side. Javon Smith, the recipient. 3 jerseys of the opposition around him. And now a free kick coming for the Knights.
I wonder if Worley's still shaken up by that tackle a little bit. He seems to be grimacing, looking down kind of towards his feet. And the service there, it ended up going to Smith, but he was clearly looking to play toward the back post there. So, that's what happens sometimes when you get when you're on the opposite end of a tough challenge like that. It may take a play or two to regroup yourself.
When you mentioned he hopped right back up, that could be the adrenaline, and then you sort of feel it a couple moments after, right? Like, oh, now I feel hitting the grass.
Exactly. Sometimes that's how it goes, but we'll see how the next couple minutes here go for him.
For Cellini, for Stickley, left foot into the box, danger zone, and Sibley there going to the grass to claim it.
Yeah, Sibley commanding his box very, very well there. If he's not aggressive and opportunistic and coming for that ball on the first post, that's a tap in there. So very good goalkeeping and a good chance from Bellarmine.
1-0 Lipscomb leads it on the goal in the 16th minute from Plutarchus Alanefti. Glad you're with us on the Lipscomb Athletics YouTube. Noah Severson alongside longtime MLS defender Jaleel Anibaba. And it's been a fun first half up to this point. Lipscomb and Bellarmine, 2 ASUN tournament-bound teams.
Yeah, we've seen some good football from both sides. They're both trying to stick to what they do well. Lipscomb, they're trying to get out on the attack, control the tempo, control possession. Bellarmine, as the game has settled a little bit more, they're a little bit further back in the field in their banks. That's where they're comfortable and organized. And that's created a few more problems for Lipscomb as this game has settled. Lipscomb was able to kind of get down the sides and attack them a little more frequently in the first 15 minutes of the match, but as it's settled, they haven't been able to do that as much.
Couple of substitutions for Bellarmine. We will read you those as they become official. Coach Chastanet getting some of his workhorses a little bit of rest before halftime. Jackson Marks comes in for Cooper Forcellini, Bruno Soria for Camden Dunn. And Thomas Stickley comes out, replaced by Alex Shukshida. Tegan Dunn trying to get it up the line for Alex Shukshida. Under 5 minutes to go. If you are Coach Tim Chastanet, Jaleel, what would you like to see in these final 4.5 minutes, even if you don't get a goal, to maybe get some positive momentum going into the second half?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, they just made some changes. So you'll like to see how those changes are able to affect the game. But you always want to stick to your identity as you're playing. You want to stick to being very solid defensively, seeing if they can nick one on the counter here. That looked like that could have been a potential opportunity. Foul was called, unfortunately, for Bellarmine. But, yeah, if you're Coach Chastanet, you would like to see the subs add to what you've put out there already.
Well, and one of them nearly did. That was Jackson Marks, who appeared for a second to have created a turnover and then was whistled for the foul, put both hands on his head as if in disbelief. That would have been a big-time chance for the Knights. Awesome crowd in attendance here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. I mean, just few empty seats and a lot more standing up on the concourse as well, trying to send out these seniors. They know that there's, of course, going to have more soccer to be played here over the next week, but wanted to be here in support, and they have been treated to an entertaining first half. 3 minutes to go before halftime. Lipscomb a little bit more patient over the last couple minutes, keeping possession. Here's Golden for Worley. Back for Dang. Local product out of Brentwood High School. Wood working on Marks. Gets by him. Javon Smith. No, Golden. Golden with the lane. What a heady play. Javon Smith kind of sealed his defender, and Wood had the avenue to go for a shot. It's knocked away, but that was a pretty sequence.
Yeah, that was really nice. You know, you see Hayes Wood pick up the ball there on the vertices off the 18-yard box, and he's able to dribble at the defense, and that creates a situation where the defense has to stop in their blocks. They can't come out because Javon Smith is on the back line. Hayes Wood rolls it into Javon Smith, but then ultimately leaves it for Noah Golden. That's very good play there. Creative football, and results in a corner kick for them.
High arcing cross, Burl Shepard, and it's out of bounds. And Brozovic upset with the official. He thought he kind of got slammed there as he went up for the ball, a collision. Bellarmine will get the goal kick.
I understand Brozovic's point there. There was a little bit of contact from Nick Dang, but ultimately I think goalkeeper needs to command his box a little bit more, can be a little bit more physical and anticipate the contact there and almost initiate the contact. That's what the goalkeeper's supposed to do, maybe come out with the knee up or something like that. He's fully entitled to doing that.
Just over a minute before the halftime whistle. Marks ahead for Griffiths. Just outside the box, try to fit it pass through a tight window, and it's knocked out of play. And Bellarmine will have the throw. Hesitation from the referee, but I think he got the call right.
Agreed.
Tegan Dunn looking for a teammate. Griffiths right back to him. The cross is a long one. Oh, and a missile of a header from the Knight. Goes just over top of the post. That was Haziq Zed, the senior out of Malaysia, who had an opportunity.
And you asked what Coach Chassenet would be expecting in these last few minutes, and that is exactly it. For them to defend well on their defensive end, but still create chances on their offensive end. You can't really ask for more. The only thing maybe would for that header to be on target, but great service there by Tegan Dunn, and almost equalized.
Bison's trying to make something happen here before the break. Doesn't look like anything will come of it as we are under 10 seconds. Well, perhaps the best chance of the night as this ball played up ahead for Smith. That'll be the first half. The best chance for Bellarmine maybe coming just a few moments ago. A cross played in. Haziq Zed in position, skies up, has the header, puts a lot of juice on it, but it is above the post. And so we reach halftime. Lipscomb holding the 1-0 lead. Plutarchus Alanefti, a goal in the 16th minute to give Lipscomb the 1-0 lead. A huge save just a little bit earlier from Matthew Brozovic. Louis Robinson had a penalty after Javon Smith was taken down in the box. Brozovic saved the penalty, and so Bellarmine does have life here at halftime.
Absolutely, yeah, it was a good first half in my opinion. The result, the score line, at this point in time is fair. Lipscomb's been the better team, but there's not much in it. Both teams are playing a very competitive match so far, and the second half will be something that will be very, very interesting to watch.
Halftime here in the Music City. We'll step aside. 1-0 Lipscomb leads it at the break. Back in Nashville to start the second half of this ASUN tilt between the visiting Bellarmine Knights and the 12th ranked Lipscomb Bisons. Noah Severson alongside Jalil Anibaba. Glad you're with us on the Lipscomb Sports Network. 1-0 Lipscomb on a goal from Plutarchus Alanefti in the 16th minute. That's the difference up to this point. Jalil, we did see some life there at the end from Bellarmine, maybe some momentum to carry into the second half, into what has turned into, if they don't win tonight, they will be the 6th seed in the ASUN tournament because of results that have come in. Stetson taking down Florida Gulf Coast tonight 6-2, and North Florida edging Jacksonville 1-0. So as it stands right now, Stetson will be the 3 seed, 14 points in the table. Florida Gulf Coast would be the 4 seed with 12 points. North Florida, by virtue of their win, they leapfrog Bellarmine. They're in the 5 position right now, and then Bellarmine would be the 6 seed. They have 9 points pending the result of this match. So in your opinion, what does Bellarmine need to do here in the second half against obviously a super talented Lipscomb side?
Well, first and foremost, like we spoke about ahead of the game, there's everything to play for both sides. What Bellarmine needs to do is more of what they did in the first half, in my opinion. Weather the storms that Lipscomb throws at them and try to hit them on the counter. And I think that there's everything to play for and in the second half for both of them. But Bellarmine showed that they're up for the task.
You saw there the graphic that flashed, the dates for the ASUN tournament. The quarterfinals will be November the 5th. That's Saturday. Lipscomb will not play in that round. They have a bye to the semis. And then semis will take place on Monday the 7th. Bisons will play the winner of the 4-5 game. If this result holds, the 4 and 5 seeds would be Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida. They would play here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex on Saturday, with the winner taking on Lipscomb on Monday. So we switch sides here. Bison's going from right to left. Killian Byrne looking for space in the middle, dumps it off for Alanefti. Jack Fisher escapes the pile with the ball. Lipscomb wins it back. And a foul going against Cooper Forcellini. Lipscomb had a penalty attempt saved by the Bellarmine goalkeeper Matthew Brozovic. Just a few minutes later, Alanefti found the back of the net for his 3rd goal of the season, but we could have very well been looking at a 2-0 deficit for the Knights, so that alone certainly has to give them some positive feelings going into the second half here. Lipscomb has been an uber dangerous team when they score first, as Burl Shepard is in some pain here on the near side.
And again, these are these errant passes that for me Lipscomb needs to clean up. Because this ball played to the left-hand side, it was in between Louis Robinson and Burl Shepard, which ends up resulting in a hospital ball for Burl Shepard. And those are the types of balls that Bellarmine likes to pounce on and create opportunities. So for me, that is the only aspect of the game that I would like to see Lipscomb clean up, and maybe they're able to turn some of these errant passes into scoring opportunities if they just focus on these details a little bit more.
Robinson with the delivery. A lot of backspin on the ball. Brock Pope clears it away for the moment. Lipscomb will reset at midfield. Throw-in coming for the Bisons. Lipscomb trying to stay perfect here at home. 5-0 here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Hayeswood, front of the corner flag, plays it back. Alanefti gets his pocket picked. Bisons have been dominant here in Nashville. They have outscored opponents 21-3 here at home, and that certainly bodes well, as they know that any game that they play in the ASUN Championship will be here at home.
That's an impressive stat line there. 21-3 goal differential at home. That's unbelievable. And like you said, that gives the home side a lot of confidence going into this game, going into the conference tournament, and subsequently going into the NCAA tournament as well. If they're able to host a NCAA game, that would be amazing. confidence builder for them as well.
Another cross. This one drifts out of play. Hayeswood trying to keep it between the lines. Yeah, for the season, Lipscomb with a plus 24 goal differential. They've outscored opponents 36-11 this year. Just an unbelievable run. And certainly people around the program knew that this team was for real heading into the year with what they brought back. And then they went out and proved it, right? It's one thing to have high expectations. It's another to live up to them. And that's what this Bison side has certainly done this year.
Absolutely. You spoke about the seniors that decided to come back, using their COVID year and coming back and adding to the leadership here. Obviously, tonight is senior night, and they're being recognized. Some of them being recognized twice for coming back, but it's always an added bonus when your leadership core is strong, and that's what's been on display tonight. I feel for both sides, but Lipscomb has been able to take advantage here.
What a touch sequence here. Killian Byrne has his shot saved. I mean, putting on a clinic there in the attacking third with those short touch passes, and it resulted in a pretty good-looking shot for Killian Byrne.
Yeah, very, very good attack there from Lipscomb. Good football, intricate play, and it resulted into a good attack.
So Brazovic comes through once more. He's now got 5 saves tonight. Alan Efty into the box, flicks it up for Smith. Bellarmine wanted a handball, they didn't get it. Allows Will Turner to reset for the Bisons. Lipscomb undefeated this year when scoring first. 10 wins, only 1 draw when they are the first to crack the scoreboard. Alan Efty trying to play it from his backside and gets whistled for it as Bellarmine will get the free kick.
That play didn't quite come off for Lipscomb, but what I really like is when they enter the attacking third, you can really see them come alive. You can see that they play a decisive brand of football when they enter the attacking third. They don't think twice. They feed off the runs that are being made. They play the passes, and they don't hesitate. And that is what you see and you notice in a confident side, and it's on display here.
52nd minute here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. 12th ranked Lipscomb up 1-0 on Bellarmine. Physical challenge there. Robinson and Shalish. And the Knights will get a free kick. Knights with 1 shot on goal tonight. Did have a good-looking chance right before halftime on a cross that was played into Hazik Zed, who rose up for a header and just could not put it quite on target. The cross and a header. Sibley off the rebound, able to punch it outside. And Hayeswood finds Javon Smith with the defender on his back. Bisons turn it, what a ball. Played up for Killian Byrne in his own zip code. The shot is saved. Brazovic, the man of the hour, keeps this a 1-goal match.
That is absolutely great counterattacking football from Lipscomb. Normally we see them dictating the play, but that is absolutely great. Great hold-up play from Javon Thomas to start the counterattack, and then they're in there, almost scored a goal. Great save by Brazovic in the end, but great football by Lipscomb.
7 saves now for Brazovic. Corner cleared away, absolutely. I mean, Noah Golden found his man with Killian Byrne, a well-timed run, a perfectly weighted pass. But this does stay a 1-0 affair.
Yeah, and clever from Golden to slip the ball in behind the defender instead of trying to play to feet there, and that created the final pass and an ultimate chance that you like to see there.
8 assists for Noah Golden this season. Leads the conference. Was was recognized alongside his brother Scott tonight prior to the match. Those two have just been anchors for this squad over the past several years. The ceremony was lengthy not only because of the amount of seniors that were recognized, but because each guy had so many accolades that the public address announcer had to read off.
Absolutely. And that speaks volumes to the success of the program this season and the previous seasons as well. And it's great to see. It's great to see whenever you can acknowledge your seniors, it's a great night. But when, like you said, there's so many things to speak positively about with the seniors in this squad, and it's awesome.
Obviously, the individual accomplishments are amazing, but it's the team ones that matter the most. And so these conference championships that they've been able to build up, and of course that run in the NCAA tournament in 2018 where they made it to the Sweet 16, the furthest a Lipscomb squad had ever gotten to at that stage in the postseason. This team certainly is built to maybe repeat that. Here's a ball played in beautifully, just out of the reach of its intended target. Making a run was Hayes Wood as he tried to find the feet of, was that Worley as he's retreating back? I believe it was. Near side for Robinson. Back out Golden. Turner. Shepard. In for Smith. Killian Byrne trying to track it down. Steady defending there from Bellarmine, though. That was Cedarberg, native of Sweden, who was able to snuff out that attempt. Just over 10 minutes into the second half here. Lipscomb holding this 1-0 lead.
Yeah, no, just a minute ago you're speaking on the accolades of the seniors and other players throughout Lipscomb's program. And what really stands out for me in that category is that they have players that are being recognized in all aspects of the pitch. You have midfielders that are being recognized. You have strikers that are being recognized. You have defenders that are being recognized. And like you said, that translates into collective success. So that's what you like to see, and for me, that's what really stands out about the accolades that you mentioned for the Lipscomb program.
Obviously, all conference awards will be coming out later this week, with the final regular season matches around the ASUN being played tonight. And certainly the expectation is that Lipscomb will do well when those awards are announced.
Yeah, and to be clear, we are speaking of previous accolades and the ways that the seniors have been recognized for their previous successes. Yes, the accolades for this season have not been announced yet. You can infer in terms of how many Lipscomb players will be recognized in those categories, but you have standout players throughout the field for Lipscomb, and that's great to see.
And certainly with the type of defense that Bellarmine has played this season, you would think that they would be well represented on the back line. They're standouts who have really kept this Bellarmine team overperforming in terms of what the other teams around the league thought they were going to do. Certainly there was probably no doubt as to what Bellarmine thought they were capable of, but as we mentioned, picked 8th out of 9 teams, and this of course coming off an ASUN semifinal appearance the year before. They certainly had to think of that maybe as some bulletin board material going into the year, the chip on their shoulder, and they have a chance to again maybe pull off an upset at the ASUN tournament. And you were talking with Coach Chastanet this week, Jalil, about the importance of this game in terms of, yes, you want to play well against a ranked opponent, as this cross was played out by Robinson right into the waiting legs of a Knight who was trying to find his footing to bury it. It's played out and Bellarmine will have the corner, but he noted that this is not their quote-unquote Super Bowl, right? They're playing for the ASUN tournament, and they know they have the pieces to make a run at the ASUN championship.
Correct, and that serves this game up for almost a test run, if you will. It's a very good opportunity for Bellarmine to see how they match up against a ranked opponent in Lipscomb, and for me, they've matched up very, very well. And this game so far should give them a lot of confidence going into the conference tournament, and it gives them a lot to work on as they try to make a run for a conference tournament championship. And in speaking to Coach Chastanet, we spoke about their transition from D1 to D2. And since they've transitioned in, these 3 years have been about making sure they're able to be competitive at this D1 level, and they have been. And that is something that can't be overstated, because that transition is very, very difficult. And obviously, Coach Chastanet's 25-year experience has played a huge role in their success so far.
Bellarmine creates another turnover. It's Jack Fisher, turns it towards the middle, right foot strikes, Sibley there.
We have Bellarmine knocking on the door for the same reasons we've been speaking about. Lipscomb's sloppy play out of the back. If they don't clean it up, for me, could be something that they may regret at the end of this match.
Daniel Stamptatori into the match. Back for Robinson, who finds Shepard. Shepard assesses, now plays it in. The header flicked up right on top by Hayeswood.
That's good football there by Lipscomb. Stamptatori does very well to keep the ball in bounds here on this near side, plays it back to Robinson. They're able to get a ball to the back post for Hayeswood climbing the ladder. And unfortunately for Lipscomb, it just goes over the bar, but that's what they can do. They can create an opportunity at the drop of a dime, at the turn of a hat. And for me, they just need to focus in. They need to be a little bit more attentive to details, and especially when they're trying to build out of their defensive third. But once they get into the attacking third, they're playing their brand of football.
Coach Morrow going to his bench even more here in the second half. Stamptatori, freshman out of Ontario, seeing some time, as well as Zarek Jakubowski, senior out of Phoenix. He's on the pitch as well.
It's good to see Jakubowski on the pitch, especially on senior night. Stamptatori putting his stamp, no pun intended, on the game very quickly after coming on, and it's great to see. Speaking to Coach Morrow, one of the things that he was so proud about is the depth of this squad, the buy-in from all the players, the positive attitudes throughout the roster, and that makes for a great working environment, to be quite frank.
Lipscomb is taking the air out of the ball a little bit here to start the second half. Content with possession. Bellarmine, the success they've had here in the second 45 has come off of forcing turnovers. A couple of good-looking shots, at least to challenge Michael Sibley in goal. Certainly has the feel of a game that is not 1-0. Lipscomb has controlled possession. They've created the bulk of the chances, and yet you look up at the board, and one mistake could quickly even this thing up.
Yes, it's definitely one of those games where throughout the run of possession, Lipscomb has been the better side, for sure. But football is a funny game. If you don't put away your chances, and if you let an opponent stick around, it can come back to bite you.
Another one gives Bellarmine possession as Brock Pope puts too much juice on that pass, upset with himself as he tried to find Fisher on the left wing. Two head coaches leading the two programs tonight. Doing this a long time. Tim Chastanet, his 25th season at the helm of Bellarmine. Coach Morrow in his 18th season leading the Bisons. They've combined for 370 wins. Two very well-respected leaders of their two programs.
And great guys when you speak to them. Very candid, very warm, very welcoming, and very helpful to their players. They have a lot of confidence in their squad. They build that throughout the year, and the way that they train, they trust their leadership, and you can see that the way both teams stick to their identity and play good brands of football on both sides.
Of course, Coach Morrow was a standout here at Lipscomb back in their NAIA days in the 90s. Came back to lead the program. And Coach Chastanet, no stranger to the Music City. His son AJ is a standout player for Belmont, just down the street. Bellarmine and Belmont played just a little bit ago in a non-conference match, and so Tim was able to reunite with his son AJ. Allen FD plays it up for Hayeswood, screams into the box, stutter steps, and then a ball played up over, and they're going to say that it stayed in play. Bellarmine signaling that that came out and then came back in. Robinson winds up for a shot, has it blocked. Shepard now to his right foot. Touch pass in, Allen FD unable to connect with Shepard, who was making a nice run.
And you see again how Lipscomb comes alive in these half spaces off the top of the 18 there. Once they get into these situations, they're very, very confident.
Allen FD to Golden. Golden on the ground, and it's through the wickets of Javon Smith. And a corner upcoming for Lipscomb, so it was redirected by a Bellarmine player. What a ball that was from Golden on the ground. Somehow got through all those legs.
And sometimes that's how it goes. Very unfortunate there for Javon Smith, but it's more difficult than it looks when the ball's fizzed across the top of the box or top of the goal line like that. It's sometimes not as easy as it looks to just redirect it in the back of the net. But again, Lipscomb comes alive off these half spaces, top box.
Sixth corner of the night for the Bisons. Golden service to the back post. Ball stays airborne. Robinson on the ground, redirected by Smith, and a goal kick upcoming for the Knights. Couple of substitutions checking in for the visitors. Appears as though Forcellini and Shalish will come off. And Ben Griffiths comes on along with Alex Shukshida. 24 minutes remaining in this regular season finale from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. The lone goal tonight coming in the 16th minute from Plutarchus Allen FD. Third goal of the season for the transfer.
And for me, just overall, Allen FD's had a really good game. Really strong match. He's been able to just kind of float in those areas, top box, and create for Lipscomb. He's been on the end of a lot of the chances created for Lipscomb, either passing or shooting or whatever have you, and of course, scoring the goal. So he's had a very, very strong night.
Little two-man game between Pope and Shukshida. Nick Dang wins position and then takes the foul from Shukshida, who is on his back. Been impressed with the Lipscomb defense tonight. No Luca Nauman, no Scott Golden. And yet they have been super stout. Only 6 shots for Bellarmine tonight.
Yeah, and as much as we speak of the high-octane offense of Lipscomb, you can't forget to mention their defense. Their defense has been good all year, been very, very solid all year. They're stingy. They don't give up very, very many goals. And again, it just speaks volumes to how well-rounded they are.
Top 2 teams in the conference in terms of defensive metrics. Bellarmine coming into tonight had only given up 2 goals in their last 9 matches. A 9-match unbeaten streak for the Knights. Stampatori, nifty move to get around one defender. Trickles it into Smith, looks for a lane. Shot is blocked, played out Allen FD. He gives it a go, and it's blocked again. Stampatori trying to whiz through, and ball bounced up and hit his hand.
Stampatori's been absolutely balling since he's come on. He's been balling. Every time he touches the ball, he's able to get in behind his defender, a little shimmy, shake, cut, find Javon Smith, inside and create opportunities. And that's what you love to see from a player coming on, especially wide.
Not a lot of playing time this year for the freshman. But is there any other group of midfielders or attackers that you would want to learn from as you develop as a collegiate player? You come in as a freshman and you get to learn from all these guys who have scored goals in bunches. And certainly Stampatori, a guy to keep an eye on for the future.
Yeah, that's an added plus to be able to learn firsthand in training from guys that like Spicer, Malachi Jones. He's a freshman like Stampatori, but has been a very, very good player and standout player as well. So if Stampatori has really been learning from these players, you can see that he's also eager to show what he can do.
Lipscomb looking for win number 12. It would match their program record for wins in a season. It's been achieved twice in program history, most recently last year. Injured Bison down on the field. Trainer will come out.
I believe that's Worley.
If it is, it's a big disappointment. What a game he's had. We mentioned only his 4th game of the season. And I don't believe he's come out at all. He has been there at right back.
Yeah, and he's been solid. He's been solid all night. Stepped in, hasn't skipped a beat. His passing has been good. His defending has been solid.
Manning that spot that Luca Nauman usually has. And Nauman, certainly a big-time weapon in terms of his passing ability. And Worley, as you mentioned, has stepped in and really haven't missed a beat. Looks like he's going to stay on. Really, if you're Lipscomb, that's the one thing that can't happen, right, is injuries. That's one thing you're hoping really is not a factor tonight, as you've already clinched the #1 seed.
Yeah, for sure. At this point in time of the year, injuries, you don't want to see injuries from anybody on your squad. Not at any time of the year, to be frank, but especially this time of year when the most important football is to be played. But it looks like Worley is fine, and he'll be back in. He's already, yeah.
Here's your guy Stampatori again. Cameron Dunn spins back, finds Cedarburg. Now Kern up for Fisher. Pass intended for Griffiths. Griffiths has it again. Alan Efty wins it back for Lipscomb. Up ahead for Smith.
Good little ball over the top there by Alan Efty. That's a very good ball.
Overlapping run for the Bisons as they'll take their time and reset. Bounces back out to Robinson. And it's won by Marks. A pass under the foot of Griffiths. Golden picks it up. Lipscomb, as we've noted, will be back in action next Monday here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex on November 7th to face the winner of the quarterfinal match between the 4 and 5 seeds, which will be Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida if this result stands. Bellarmine would need a win tonight to climb into that 4-5 match. Certainly time not on their side. So we tick under 19 minutes to go before the final whistle. Line drive played up intended for Woods, just out of his reach.
Yeah, a little flat ball there. There's a little bit more angle on it. Hazelwood would have been able to get on the end of it, but I like the idea.
Brock Pope is going to check out, and Bruno Soria, the senior out of Chile, will take his place. So again, if Bellarmine is not able to come back and win this match, they will be on the road in Conway, Arkansas, playing at Central Arkansas's field against what would be Stetson, which appears to be the number three seed in the ASUN Championship, with the winner of that quarterfinal taking on the 2 seed Central Arkansas in Monday's semi. Bellarmine was able to win their quarterfinal match last year, taking down Florida Gulf Coast before dropping that semi to Central Arkansas on the road in Conway. Lipscomb in no hurry, Jaleel. No hurry at all.
No, and sometimes this is what you need to do when you have the game under control, is to keep possession and in responsible areas of the field. But like I said, it's about paying attention to detail, being responsible with the ball, keeping possession in the areas of the pitch that it makes sense to do so. When they're passing it around the back with no pressure from Bellarmine, that makes perfect sense. But once Bellarmine steps up their pressure and they need to be able to bypass them, they've done that fairly well tonight. But it's something that, if there's any takeaway of improvement for Lipscomb, for Coach Morrow, I'm sure when they watch the film back, they'll want to clean up some of the errant passes.
Javon Smith has his cross chipped away. Brozovic punches it out, and now Bellarmine will clear out of play. Yeah, Bellarmine's defense has obviously been their calling card, but now approaching nearly 300 minutes since their last goal. Coming into tonight, they had held opponents scoreless over the previous 200 minutes, but they themselves had been scoreless for 200 minutes. And so far, they've been shut out by this Lipscomb defense tonight.
Yeah, the hardest thing to do in football is score goals. That's what they always say, and it's true. Bellarmine is very, very organized. We've spoken about that all night. Their defense is definitely their strong suit. Now, scoring more goals is something that they're going to want to improve on, and that always comes with time. And like we've spoken about, this is only their third season in D1. So as they continue to grow as a D1 program, surely they'll try to figure out how to score more goals and whatnot. But that comes with time.
They've not conceded more than 1 goal over their last 10 matches. Of course, if they can keep the Bisons to just their 1 goal, that would make it an 11-match streak of not allowing multiple goals to an opponent.
And that's always the foundation, right? Defense. If you can lock in a solid foundation defensively, if your identity involves defending very, very well, then you have a lot to build from. You have a solid foundation there. And you see that on the Lipscomb side. They can defend very, very well, but they can also attack very, very well. So when you can add solid attack on top of good defense, you're in a good spot.
Spoken like a true defender. Build it from the back, right? All starts with the guys in the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Robinson with plenty of backspin on that ball for Smith.
I've been impressed with Javon Smith's hold-up play tonight. His ability to keep possession. A lot of these kind of awkward long-range balls that have bounced up into his hip area, his chest. These are very, very difficult balls to get under control in a quick manner of time when you got defenders breathing down your neck, and he's done a very, very good job of that tonight.
Has 2 shots to his name. He just always seems to be in the right position, right? He hasn't been able to convert for a goal tonight, but when the ball is in the danger zone, when the oohs and ahs come from the crowd, it's usually when the ball is at the foot of Javon Smith. And of course, he created that penalty early on in the first half. Robinson was unable to knock it home for Lipscomb, but it was Smith with his pressure on the ball that forced Bellarmine to kind of push him to the ground a little bit so that he wasn't going to score.
Yeah, and he's kept Kern and Cedarburg very busy tonight. And that's what you ask of your center forward, and especially in this 4-3-3 formation that Coach Morrow loves so much. If your number 9 can preoccupy the center backs, keep them busy, that frees up space in the wide channels, and that's how we've seen Lipscomb be able to break down Bellarmine and create scoring opportunities.
It is Smith being attended to by a trainer inside the Bellarmine penalty area. He was sitting up and kind of grabbing at that, I believe, left leg.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. At this stage in the match with less than 15 minutes left, you never know. Fatigue sets in. Sometimes you lunge for balls that maybe isn't the most opportune situation for you to be putting your body in, especially when fatigue has set in, but that's how it goes. So hopefully he's all right.
He is going to walk to the sideline here. And some activity on the Lipscomb bench. I think Killian Byrne is stretching out. See what Coach Morrow wants to do here. Certainly no shortage of options.
No, not at all. But definitely something you want to manage correctly. Make sure whoever goes into the game, they're warm and ready to go in. And it looks like Killian Byrne, you're right, is stepping back into the game. He's had a solid game as well.
In the starting lineup tonight for the Bisons, senior out of West Haven, Connecticut. 13 minutes and change here in the second half of the regular season finale between the 12th ranked Lipscomb Bisons and the Bellarmine Knights. One goal in the 16th minute for Lipscomb. That's been the difference so far. Here's a ball played up for Hazik Zed out of his grasp, and Sibley with a quick throw to Robinson. Gladys boots it out of play. So far, things shaping up, mirroring what happened last year in terms of the seeding. Bellarmine was the 6th seed, went to Conway, Arkansas to play their quarterfinal game. Lipscomb was the 1 seed. The Bears of Central Arkansas were the 2 seed. Of course, this year it'll be, we think, Stetson the 3, Florida Gulf Coast the 4. And as it stands right now, North Florida the 5 seed. Gladys gets it off the foot of Stampatori. And a foul going against Louis Robinson as he takes down Cooper Forcellini, slow to get up. Robinson visibly upset. And this will be a pretty good spot for the Knights here.
Yeah, Forcellini able to draw a foul there. Caught a little bit of a knock, but he seems fine in the process. And like you said, this is a pretty dangerous area, especially with the service of Jack Fisher.
Yeah, you would think this lends itself well to his left foot. 4 red jerseys in the box, awaiting his service. And he curls it in. And it fell to the foot of Hazik Zed. Pardon me, that's his Shalish. Kind of glanced off his toe, and Sibley got it. Lipscomb in position to move to a perfect 6-0 here at home. And at least to my untrained eyes, Jaleel, it looks like they've kind of erased any doubt that could have possibly arose after that tight loss to Florida Gulf Coast on the road. I mean, they have looked really good here tonight, playing some of the guys from the second unit, bringing in guys off the bench, and they have picked up right where the usual starters have left off, and they've looked really good up to this point.
Absolutely. It's been a very solid performance by Lipscomb, both defensively, offensively as well. They've been solid. They've created opportunities when they've needed to, and they've defended very, very well. Their midfield play has been good in creating opportunities, and it's been a good night for them so far. But for me, what I'm going to be very keen to see is how they manage these last 9 minutes.
Alan Hefty applying pressure, breathing down the neck of Rickard Cederberg, who does escape and get it out.
And speaking of managing these last few minutes of the game for Lipscomb, Bellarmine's going to have a few more chances. That's just how the momentum of football works. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at the last couple minutes of the game, and it's going to be very interesting to see if Lipscomb can obviously do what they do very, very well, which is defend in crucial moments of matches. And if they're able to find a second goal here, it would probably put this game to bed.
Foul awarded. Bellarmine will get the kick. Lipscomb trying to set a high line. Played in right to Sibley. Bellarmine trying to preserve what has been a Division I era program record unbeaten streak. 9 straight matches without suffering a defeat. 4 wins, 5 draws. Obviously, they're going to need at least 1 goal here tonight to preserve that streak going into postseason play.
Yeah, and for any team at any level, that's not easy to do. 9 games unbeaten is very tough, and that shows that the team is again organized, bought into what Coach Chassenet wants and expects out of them.
Michael Sibley already has 1 ASUN Goalkeeper of the Year honor under his belt. Certainly will be in consideration for a second after the type of campaign that he has turned in this year. Because of how good the defense is in front of him, he doesn't always get the same amount of chances to rack up total saves, but few guys that you would trust more than him back there.
Absolutely, and that's a good problem to have as a goalkeeper. The fewer shots, especially from close distance, that you need to show up for is obviously a good problem to have. But like you said, you can't speak highly enough of Sibley, how solid he's been all season and last year as well. He's a player that I know very, very well. He trained with us when I was at Nashville SC over the summer and definitely was up to the level.
It's been really good goalkeeper play tonight, obviously with Brozovic on the other side, racking up 7 saves, including a penalty save and a breakaway save as Killian Byrne appeared to maybe be in position to put Lipscomb up 2-0 here in the second half. Brozovic made a highlight reel play to knock it out. And he has really been the difference maker for Bellarmine in terms of keeping them alive and keeping them just a 1-goal game.
Yeah, he really has. And he's had a very solid game. Coach Chassenet spoke to me about how solid he's been all season long and how vital of a piece that has been for their group and everything that they stand for and they try to do.
Fisher on the left wing. And they'll pull the ball back for a Bellarmine free kick. Fisher might have been of the opinion that advantage should be played, but they will get the kick.
Yeah, I don't mind the call. Any winger is going to favor themselves
right.
to go 1v1, especially somebody like Jack Fisher, but the call makes perfect sense to me.
Service floated up. Shepard with the initial header. Kern turns the corner, goes to one knee, and here come the Bisons. Golden for Shepard. With time to make a decision. Cuts middle. Hayes Wood up for Alan Efty. Settles. And the touch too strong, though. The rebound, Alanefti flicks it up. Golden, saved! And a corner upcoming.
There's just so much to unpack there on that play. So much to unpack. Lipscomb stays with the play. They're able to create multiple opportunities within one play. Bellarmine shows their defensive determination to stick with the play, and then at the end, Brozovic makes an amazing save on Golden, who puts the ball out of the air. A good volley, great technique on frame. So there's just so much to unpack there, but all in all, just good football from both sides.
Noah Golden, 8 assists this year, 1 goal. That would have been his second. And Bellarmine will have a free kick. 4 minutes to go before the final whistle. 16 shots for the Bisons tonight. Bellarmine with 7. Cedarburg, member of the ASUN All-Freshman team a year ago. He's been stout on the back line tonight for the Knights. You spoke well of both him and Jackson Kern tonight in terms of thwarting the Bison's attack as much as they can.
Yeah, Cedarburg and Kern have been solid all season long.
Pearl Shepard comes away with possession. Hayes Wood, stout tackle there from Tegan Dunn. Fisher now to the middle, headed away. Stampatori looking upfield. Byrne, back for Shepard. Alanefti. Kern, though, knocks it away. Alanefti gets it back. Possession won by Cameron Dunn. Steps up into the heart of the attacking third. Bellarmine gives it away again. Here's Dang.
In the crucial moments of the Bellarmine attack, Nick Dang seems to be in the right place at the right time and time again. Time and time again.
Just seems to be, if not one step ahead, at least on the same page of what Bellarmine is trying to do, and he makes sure he's in the position to be able to stop it.
Yes, absolutely. He reads plays very, very well. His positioning is good, so he's able to make last-ditch challenges if he needs to. But his interceptions have been very, very key all night, and it's been a great performance for the local kid.
Two minutes to go in this one from Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Lipscomb trying to close out their conference slate with what would be a 7th ASUN win, their 12th overall of the season. Head into the third phase of the season, as some coaches like to call it, right? You've got the non-conference slate, conference schedule, and then the postseason. This Bison's team is playing well at the right time. They have everything set up for them to make a deep run. Here's Louis Robinson down the left wing. Eyes ahead, on the ground, up, and cleared away by the Knights. Nick Dang again in the right spot. Pearl Shepard with the hustle. Cameron Dunn there to flick it to Brock Pope. Shalish. Pope left side. Fisher working middle. And Nick Dang shields it all the way out. Hurtling into the North Florida flag.
Yep, and he's there, right where he needs to be, like he's been all night. Very good defending by Nick Dang, but collectively very good defending by Lipscomb there. And like we spoke about a while ago, Bellarmine's going to try to throw everything they have in these last few minutes, and Lipscomb's been very, very good in managing these last minutes of the game.
Bit of Appears as though Lipscomb is going to get their 8th shutout of the season. Michael Sibley was preparing to take this one all the way down, but the clock is stopped with 5 seconds left, and the referee coming over to give him a yellow card.
I just don't understand this. What's the point in giving him a yellow card with 5 seconds left?
Literally 5 seconds remaining on the scoreboard. Simply maybe puts a little extra into that goal kick, as that was a screamer. Lipscomb will get the victory. Plutarchus Alanefti, his goal in the 16th minute, the difference tonight. 1-0, Lipscomb takes down Bellarmine in the regular season finale. The Bisons remain perfect here at home. 6-0 here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex, the #1 seed in next weekend's A-Sun tournament. Appears to be on the right foot. They get a bye to Monday's semifinal. They will play the winner of Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida. That match will take place on Saturday here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Final thoughts, Jaleel, from this match?
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a very good game. I thought both teams stuck to their true identities. Bellarmine came in. They showed that they weren't scared of a ranked opponent. They played their football. But in the end, Lipscomb was the better team, and they were rewarded for it. Congratulations to the home side. And overall, a very good night of football.
8 saves tonight for Matthew Brozovic. The Bellarmine keeper was outstanding, really kept his team in it throughout. And we'll see what the Knights can do as they will hit the road to Conway, Arkansas. They will be the 6th seed in the A-Sun Championship. They will play the 3 seed Stetson on Saturday, with the winner of that one taking on the 2 seed Central Arkansas in the A-Sun semifinals. I think that'll do it for us here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. From all of us at Lipscomb Athletics, for my partner Jaleel Anibaba, I'm Noah Severson saying so long from the Music City, where Lipscomb is the winner tonight, 1-0 over visiting Bellarmine.